Welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy. This is a channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. Hey, what do we got going on today? Today is going to be part 2 of our rum. Today is distillation day. This is one of the funnest days of the whole process, I think. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, so our first step is we're going to have to put our rum wash into our still pot and get ready to start distilling. So let's open this thing up. Okay. All activity is completely done. Alright, so I'm going to use an auto siphon. And we're going to siphon this off, try to leave all the junk behind. Alright, so let me get this siphon in here, and then I'll be back. We got our still pot filled up with our mash. So now the next thing we need to do is we're going to start building the still up. So here's the cone. Now I've said before, never use pliers on any of your clamps. Just go hand tight. Oh, there we go. Hand tight. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to put on, of course, a gasket. Let's put our copper inside our column. We're going to run 2 rolls of copper. And make sure that they're not too awful tight. You'll learn your how long you need them. They're like 18 inches long, something 16 inches long. Roll them up. An easy way to test that. You can breathe through it. You're in good shape. All right, so we'll put that piece on. Nice cool morning this morning. Okay, so let me move the camera up a little bit so you can see a little bit more. Okay, alright, so the next thing we're going to do is put on our sight glass. You don't have to have a sight glass, but I really enjoy watching what things going on and all that good stuff. So I really enjoy the sight glass. It just gives you a window inside your column. Another gasket. Okay. And the next thing, last thing, is we're going to put the thermometer up in the head. Okay, so we're about ready to run. All right. Okay, so if you watched a video a few back, I was putting a PWM switch in my box and we kind of had a failure. So I ended up getting me a new one. So I temporarily wired it up on use it, make sure everything works good. This is a 10,000 watt fan cooled PWM switch. So we're going to try this out and see how it works out, and then we're going to kind of compare how it is to use this versus the PID controller. Okay, so let me get this plugged in, get my still pot start warming up, and then we're going to distill this rum off. All right. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, we got the still heating up. I'm starting to see a little bit of fog in my still pot. And of course, my head temperature is still only 60 degrees. And I'm about 120 degrees in the pot, so it's cold on the column, so it's not coming up yet. So we're waiting on for the vapors to start to rise, and then, but like I always try to remind everybody, please don't walk away now, because what's going to happen is once the vapors start coming up, they're going to come up like a rocket. Okay, and you'll watch your temperature to hang out, and then all of a sudden, when it starts to move, it's moving. All right. So quick update on my PWM switch. It's nice and cool, no heat. I hear the fan running inside. So everything's going well with that. Alright, so let's give it a little more time, and I'll be back when something starts happening. Okay, I think she's running pretty steady. We moved over to collection jar. We collected about 4 ounces of 4 shots and heads. So now we'll just let her run. One thing I like to show you is, yeah, we're running steady on the drip. Okay. And one thing I just think is neat about sight glass, I'm hoping you can see this, but you can just see a little bit of reflux action going on. Now I have the pre-condensers turned off. There's no water in that, but you can just see it's, I don't know if you, hopefully you can see it. Let me move around this side. You can just see the distillate just falling down and going back up. That's pretty cool. Okay, to give you an update of what's going on, we're about an hour in, and we're starting on our second quart of distillate. Taste is fantastic. Tastes like rum. My PWM switch, I got my hand on it. It is nice and cool. It is working fantastic. The distillate coming off the still is textbook. So we'll be here for a little while. I don't have no complaints. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, I finished up this rum run. That sounds neat, don't it? Rum run. Okay, yeah, anyway, I finished up this rum run. I ended up with almost 4 quarts of distillate. It all looked pretty good. I've tasted every one. They taste pretty good. I don't have no complaints. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let them breathe for a little while. And then the next step would be to taste each one, blend them together, and I'm going to do a few different rums. I want at least one bottle of clear rum, or white rum, whatever you like to call it. I would like to have one spiced rum, and then the rest of it just going to be aged. And then I'll age it on some oak. So, one thing that I am going to do is once the still cools down, is I'm going to collect probably a gallon of the dunder, what's left over in the still pot, and I'm going to save that for my next generation of rum. But since I probably only make about 1 rum a year, what I think I'll end up doing is I think I'll end up freezing it just to preserve it, and we'll see how it turns out. So I just wanted to say it. With that being said, I did use this PWM switch to run the still. I have to be honest with you, I was pretty impressed. It stayed nice and cool. Has a fan inside, it stayed nice and cool. It was real precise to run the still. Be honest with you, I think I like it a little bit better than the PID controller. To me, since I started distill and I used propane gas, so you learn how just to turn it up, turn it down, and watch the output to control it. This is pretty much the same way. You just turn it up or down just a little bit at a time. Alright, so the next thing I think I will do is I just temporary wired this up to use it. So I think I will mount it in a box, and I would like to have a volt amp gauge on it to know exactly how much I put into the element. That's just one thing I would like to do. So we're going to do that. But overall, I was very impressed. I think I will use it next time. Now the PID, I think I'm going to be using it for brewing, because like I said before, I wanted to get a rinse tube, and I'm going to use it for brewing. So I think that's about it. Oh, and I would like to say, I would like to congratulate George over at Barley and Hops for getting 100,000 subscribers. Way to go, George! Very impressive. So I would like to congratulate him. He's always been a big help to me. So I guess thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.